Hi, welcome to another episode of the AI Workflow Lab. In today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about an agent that sits in your OneDrive, the OneDrive Agent. Funnily enough, that's what it's called because it sits in your OneDrive. But yes, this OneDrive agent is your agent that will allow you to identify your files that are saved in OneDrive. Now, we all know OneDrive is digital dumping ground for stuff that we're working on in draft, version 1, version 2, before we share it out with our colleagues or share it out to a customer or client. So with time, it can really grow quite organically. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel as strict when I'm putting things in OneDrive than when I'm putting something in SharePoint. Because in OneDrive, it's my back garden, it's my backyard. I know where things will be. My filing system is not as structured because it's only built for me to understand. It's not built for the department or for the organization. And that comes with risks because you can end up being a bit less structured. What the OneDrive agent does is it will reduce the time it takes for you to find documents, find reports, find that first or second draft. Literally, it'll be your AI assistant that sits within OneDrive only. You know, with OneDrive, we can have up to 1 terabyte worth of file storage. So you can imagine with time how full and how busy and how difficult it would be to find information. So I'm going to show you how OneDrive, the AI agent in OneDrive, can help you. So firstly, let's go and build it. So I'm going to go into my OneDrive here, and you can see under Create or Upload, you can see Agent appear there. I click on Agent and there we have it. So I can change the icon. I've got the navigation options on the top. The overview tells you about the description about the agent and how you can actually name it, choose its source, etc. I'm going to keep the source as OneDrive, but I could choose other sources if I want. I can change the icon if I want. The purpose of that agent, this agent is created by AI Workflow Lab, which is me. And now we're going to give it a name. So let's just call it something like AI OneDrive Super Agents. Excuse me, my caps, I'm not having a good caps lock day. And I'm not having a good spelling day either. OneDrive Super Agents. I have not had a coffee because I don't need a coffee. I'm trying to reduce my coffee intakes, but that's a different story. Anyway, OneDrive Super Agent. I've just decided to give it a cool name. It's your agent. Call it what you want. It's your agent. You can then also, as I said, the different sources. It's obviously going to be taking information from OneDrive only because that's what we want. Behavior. So this is interesting. So you can see you've got some placeholder prompts that will appear when you launch the agent. You can add or remove. Well, I don't think you can remove actually, but you can certainly expand on the prompts or rename them. So you can see I've got summarized recent files. Tell me more about, can you help me? So if I say something, can you find all documents over 5 years? For example, you can see how it updates it on the right hand side, and that'll be the placeholder. Instructions, so provide accurate information and reply in a formal tone. So this is where you're tailoring the agent to respond, to give the output in a format that you like. I'm going to add to that and say, where possible, create, include a table format for the answers. I'm a table guy. I like structured things in columns and rows. I get less lost in that way. I also like bullet points, but we'll stick with tables. So it's going to create tables in the output where possible. I'm giving it some about, the placeholder prompts are there, the source is there. But let's go ahead and create it. So once it's created, you can see I could share that as well if I wanted to. If I'm working with a colleague who works for you or is part of your team and is allowed to see your OneDrive, then yes, you can share this agent with them. And they will both have access to your OneDrive. Think of a senior and a junior relationship where the junior is reporting to the senior but also works closely with you. Then you can both have access to the OneDrive, to the agent that points to that OneDrive. So I'm not going to share it in this case. I'm just going to chat with the agent because it's been created. So now if we go back to M365 Copilot, we do a bit of a refresh and eventually we should see the agent appear. Let us just go to agents over there. M365. Oh, sorry. It would help if I'm in my right account. Let me just close that one. Too many windows open. So let's go to There we are, OneDrive Super Agent. So now we've got the agent over there. I click on it. Copilot is complete. Yes, thank you very much. So now let's see. So I'm going to do let's test it out. Okay. So what are the sort of things that you could use your OneDrive Super Agent, as I've called it, to do? Find all Contoso files I worked in the last 2 weeks. I've been working on the Contoso project, but I've been on holiday. I've been doing other things, and I've been sidetracked to another project. I need to recircle back to the Contoso project. Was it 1 week or 2 weeks? Don't know. But you see, those are the type of scenarios where you don't have to think too much about it. Just have a rough idea of the time frame you're trying to work against, and let the agent find the files, find the documents. You can see it's doing the honors there. It's done it in a nice table format, you can see. Although the format doesn't look brilliant, but maybe I'll change it or follow up prompt not to do that, because you can see the link isn't brilliant. But it's honoring what I said. I said create the table format for my outputs. So it's done that there, and you can see the content. It's got a PowerPoint slide. That's the name of the file. That's the link to it. I might just say, can you output results, but not in a table. So I know I did ask it to do it in a table, but the table looks a bit messy. So I said, can you do it but not in a table? And it's done it. So I've asked it to overrule what I asked it to do previously from an output perspective. So you can see I've got that overview quite quickly. Other things that you can do is, let's find this other one. Come on, copy. Let's see. So you can see how effectively it found that information quite quickly. Find all my meeting notes from the last 2 weeks. That's another type of pain point I think I have, and you may also resonate with. Meeting notes. I know I've been doing some meetings, and I just don't know which ones they are, where they are. So can you just list them for me? Then I'll decide which one I need to work on. So that's what another scenario where Copilot can help. Accelerating, and you can see meeting notes found in the last 2 weeks. So last Wednesday, there was a meeting I had and things we spoke about. And then again, on the 30th of January, there's another meeting I had, and there's a meeting with facilitator. And the content includes it even gives me an overview of what the content was of the meeting. So it's really helps in terms of how quickly I can get the information out. Another example, for example, would be, suppose you want to clean up your OneDrive. You could do things like show me the files I've not opened in the last 6 months, because that could be a great way to help you decide, anything older than 6 months, obviously I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to reduce the clutter. So your agent can help you clean up your OneDrive as well, in terms of, okay, it didn't work. But if you'd like, I can search files you haven't modified in the last 6 months. Yes, do that. So it's actually going to do, it says it couldn't determine which files I've not opened because OneDrive file opening history. So, okay, it's also going to show me files that I've not modified in the last 6 months. So go for it and do that. Again, it's your agent. It's still quite new, so you will get a few hiccups as you've seen here live. I'm not going to edit this. I'd rather you see it. And look, it's still giving me what I wanted. Files not modified in the last 6 months. All these recordings, YouTube recordings, meeting recordings, I can tidy them up. So your OneDrive agent can be seen as your assistant to clean up your OneDrive, files you haven't accessed in a long time, but also find files that you're working on a lot quicker, so you don't have to worry too much about the structure, because your agent will locate it for you. So I hope you enjoy that video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on another call. What I will do as well, I will also include an AI playbook, which will give you some ideas of prompts that you can use with the OneDrive agent. So I'll include that in the description below, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.